Hey guys, welcome back to Real Housewives Recaps. I'm so glad you're here. Merry Christmas, everybody. Happy holidays. Happy whatever you celebrate. I'm just so thankful for each of you. I truly am. And for Christmas this year, I thought, you know what? I'd like to put together, these are a few of my favorite things. Some of my favorite videos from the year, just some of my favorite moments, I should say, of the videos I've done, especially on Harold and Fraud here. And so they're clipped together so you can see some of my favorite stuff, and I hope you enjoy it, and I hope you have the warmest and loveliest of Christmases and holidays and all the things. And I appreciate you guys so much. I really do. So here's something fun for you. I hope you enjoy, have the best day, and I can't wait to bring you more stuff like this. Hey guys, welcome back to Real Housewives Recaps. Today, we're taking a look at Harry. Remember when he used to look like this? And then this happened, and now he's become nothing but this. Well, we're going to rewind it and go back in time and look at when he used to look like this. Once upon a time, there was a boy named Harry who never quite grew up. We'll see that in a minute. But he used to have fun with his brother and sister-in-law. In fact, he loves her so much he called her his sister. They had such a nice relationship. Although it's been reported he did have anger issues behind the scenes, at least in public, he seemed to always put on a happy face. He seemed generally liked and to have a good personality. There was even a time where he wasn't completely miserable and he ranked one of the highest in popularity of the royal family. He loved to have a good laugh. He loved his brother. Again, he loved his sister-in-law. He just seemed like a happier person. Again, sounds like he could be moody behind the scenes, but if nothing else in public, he was putting on a happy face. Even with his dad, whose relationship has been rocky, it sounds like, he's putting on a happy face. He seems genuinely happy here to be around his father and his stepmother and his brother, putting on a happy face. There we go. I don't think it's faking it. He seems to be genuinely happy there. Having fun with the Queen. It's often said he's one of her favorites. They seem to have a lovely relationship. Again, by stories, but also you can see in the pictures. And there he is with his grandfather. Happy, smiling, laughing, enjoying time with his family. But then he met a really scary monster. Like real scary. She couldn't do anything but cling on to him. She decided that it was her job to convince him that his whole family was awful, and that the people around him were awful, the people of the country were awful, and that life was awful. And he believed her because he's real dumb. And then he convinced himself that he's a big old victim. So together, the two awful people who believe they are victims decided that they know better than everybody else in the family. All the years of tradition, gone. We don't need those. All the happiness, gone. All the joy, that's gone too. The sea witch sucked it out of him. Now we're left with miserable Beaker Face, who's unable to do anything but pout and scowl and be miserable all the time. They thought it was their job to bring misery to everybody else in the land. That's right, the sea witch continues to smile, but the dumb crown eater just keeps making faces like this. He blames everybody else for every grievance ever in his whole life, which he writes down in crayon in a book, so that way he can try to sell it to the public. See how happy he looks? It appears as if things are going really well for him, and that he's made all the right decisions. Will things ever get better for the miserable crown eater, do you ask? No, probably not, because he's got a multiple book deal and he's got more things to sell. It's even crazier, you ask? Well, I'll tell you, he expects apologies from the people he tried to bring down and make miserable. He turned his back on service, he turned his back on his family, he turned his back on his country. And he's so busy trying to convince us that he and his sea hag wife are the victims that he just looks like this all the time. But don't worry, guys. It's a happy ending. Not for him, because he chose his own destiny and then made it worse by writing all these books and doing all these interviews. But it's a happy ending for these two. They didn't let the evil sea witch and the stupid crayon eater get them down. They decided to keep moving and serving the country and working toward fulfilling their destinies. Instead of writing in crayon who pushed who when they were 12 years old. Instead of airing every grievance ever in their entire orbit, they decided to just keep living their lives. Hey, look at that! She doesn't have to cling on to him. They don't have to force smiles. They seem genuinely happy. The end. Today, we're having some fun. I had such a fun response to the messy that I thought today we'd take a look at some look at me's. That's right. All the time, Meghan likes to stare at the camera. And usually she's staring at her stupid husband with a goofy grin. But in some of these, it's like, look at me. And so I thought we could take a look at some of those. So take a look at everybody around her because they're looking in different directions in a lot of these. But she finds the camera and says, look at me. So let's take a look. You ready? Here we go. On her wedding day, look at me. My goofy groom doesn't know where to look, but look at me. Oh, there's the poop emoji hat. Look at me. Oh, there she is walking through a random forest. Look at me. All these mourners here for the queen? Nope, doesn't matter. Look at me. Oh, I'm with a group of people. Oh, nope. Look at me. Found the photographer. Look at me. Dressed as Kermit playing Look at Me. Or should I say, look at me. Having a dramatic moment. Everybody off to the side. No, look at me. My stupid husband's looking at our baby, but I'm going to look at the camera because look at me. Oh, more cameras. Look at me. Ooh, looks like my husband's getting mad at me. Oh, but look at me. Standing next to the queen? Oh, no. Look at me. My crayon-eating husband doesn't know where he's at, but look at me. Let's just go ahead and blur that doofus out because look at me. These other people? They're looking at the crowd, but who cares? Look at me. Oh, messy hair, look at me. Cosplaying a Disney villain, look at me. Ooh, on a carriage ride with my frisbee hat, look at me. Rainy night, umbrella, look at me. Trying to pout, but it comes off as duck lips, look at me. Why do I look like this? I look like a zombie, look at me. I'm ignoring the people that came out to talk to me so I can stare at the camera. Look at me. Numbnuts doesn't know where to look, but I do. Look at me. Even when I'm mad at Numbnuts, I know where the camera is. Look at me. It's not fair that my sister-in-law is so beautiful. I'm going to try to draw attention away, so look at me. I'm just taking a walk by some cinder blocks and caught off guard by this photographer. Look at me. I'm just caked in bronzer for no reason in a white jacket and stupid hat. Look at me. It's weird how much I look like Doria here, and what the hell am I wearing, and why do I have scissors taped to my head? Look at me. Ooh, I found the camera on the other side of my stupid husband. Look at me. Everybody else is having a conversation, but I know where to find the camera. Look at me. My husband might be shaking hands with someone, but I can lean around his ass and wave to the camera. Look at me. What the hell's going on with Wow, let me try that again. What the hell's going on with my face? I look like Kim Kardashian, kind of. Look at me. My husband always seems pissed, but not me. Not when you have a camera. Look at me. I'm never not going to laugh at this poop hat with the chocolate curl glued to the side of it. Look at me. Windswept, look at me. Side-eye, look at me. I want to remind everyone that Time magazine tried to make them the same height, but look at the real difference. Look at me. Wearing awful clothes, look at me. I'm dressed like a banana. Look at me. Remember when I told you I couldn't wear bright colors? Look at me. I'm pretending to give a shit about the queen or any of my royal duties. Look at me. I gotta push this guy's face out of the camera lens so you can more clearly see mine. Look at me. My husband's trying to solve hard math problems by chewing bubble gum. Look at me. Getting a bullshit award that doesn't actually mean anything and shouldn't have been given to us because we lied all the way through it. Look at me. I can't leave my hair alone or let go of this ginger's hand, 'cause he'll run away. Look at me. No, seriously, see, he's so confused he's waving at trees. Look at me. Sometimes I realize he looks so much like Beaker I have to clap my hands together. Look at me.
Finally, my time to shine. Blue still. Look at me.
No, Harry, that's a mailbox. Look at me. Today, I found something. You guys, I discovered the funniest thing when I was putting together pictures of Meghan. Oh my God. If you don't like blue humor, I'm just giving you a warning now. You may not like this video. I get it. It's cool. But you guys, look at this. I found something. When she poses, she does a poop pose. I'm not even kidding you. Just take a look at this. I'm telling you, it's more than coincidental. You're going to see it a lot in this video. I was kind of blown away. Poop pose. I was gathering photos and just taking a look because people had asked for her posing photos. And I started to notice a pattern. All of them. You guys, she's full of shit. And I didn't even realize she poses like this in every photo, like she's taking one. Ew, I'm sorry, but it's true. See, now that you know it, you won't be able to unsee it. It's all of her posing photos like this. I just couldn't stop laughing when I figured it out. Take a look. Colorful photos full of it. Look at my yoga pose full of it. What in the world is this pose full of it? This was before she started abusing bronzer and spray tans full of it. Sure, this is how we all just stand on a normal day full of it. She even has her stupid husband posing like this full of it. Look at his face there, seriously. Full of it. You guys, I didn't even have to doctor this photo. This is just how she's posed. Full of it. Seriously, what am I looking at? What's happening in this picture full of it? What kind of throne is this full of it? Probably shouldn't have worn white here full of it. Do you see it in every pose now full of it? Apparently, she really likes this pose full of it. Does it not look like she's sitting on the toilet full of it? Really likes to pose like this near books for some reason full of it. How did nobody stop and think, hey, it looks like she's going to the bathroom in a fancy dress in this picture full of it? Ooh, being committed full of it? Still posing like this, still in black and white full of it. Do you see what I mean? Once you notice it, it's all you'll see. She's full of it. Wearing her green carpet full of it? Sure, why wouldn't you wear this outfit and pose like this while on royal duties? Yep, that's a thing that happened, full of it. Deep thoughts and obviously full of it. Did anybody else hear that balloon pop full of it? Okay, now you're just gaslighting us full of it. She sure likes to bend down a lot like this, and she's full of it. Since we're focused on that area and those poses, I thought I'd show you the other thing she loves to do in photos. Turn around and show you her rear. Stay classy, Meghan. I think I'm going to call these, look at my butt. Wearing a white dress, haven't discovered bronzer yet. Look at my butt. My hair's turning orange, but my skin's not quite there yet. Look at my butt. Wearing denim and shorts on a purple carpet. Look at my butt. Ooh, that makeup. Look at my butt. Joker. Royal duties are hard. Look at my butt. Yep, that's actually her at a friend's wedding. Look at my butt. She really loves to pose by graffiti. Look at my butt. Also loves a zipper that goes all the way down the back of her dress. Look at my butt. See? Told ya. Tell me this photo wasn't staged. Look at my butt. In the rain, look at my butt. Way before the bronzer and spray tan, look at my butt. Not sure what this pose is. Look at my butt. You know how she was doing all those coat flicks? I'm surprised she didn't do one for her butt here. Wow, she really is an ass. You guys, I had so much fun making this video. Woo, we're taking a look at something so fun. You know I love the look at me's. Well, I found a new pattern. Well, I can't even take credit. I got the best comments saying you've got to see how she poses for her jewelry, and I haven't noticed it, but now it's all I see. So we're going to take a look at some of her look at me jewelry edition. Ooh, wait till you see this. It's going to be lots of fun. Now, this is normally where I'd start posting pictures, but there's something I want to talk about first in regards to jewelry. A lot of it ties back into Diana. There were a couple pieces that she got from Diana, aka from Harry, that were Diana's, and there's a lot of attention drawn to those pieces. Now, I couldn't talk about that without first discussing the watch. I get a lot of comments on the watch, so I just want to clarify something real quick before we dive in, because it's interesting. Whenever I talk about the watch, what I'm talking about is Diana's Cartier watch. And I always get comments saying, no, Jen, she bought one for herself. Well, I can clarify this because it is confusing. You're right, and I'm right. We're both right. Okay. When she was working on Suits, it was the third season. The story goes that the third season got picked up, and she was so excited that she bought herself a Cartier watch. Now, I want to point out something, just a little food for thought. Remember, I didn't Google the royals. I didn't know anything about them. She just so happened to buy herself this Cartier tank watch. Why is that important? Because Diana had this Cartier tank watch. You can see it here in the picture. So, the one she bought herself, the stupid watch that she engraved 2mm from mm, is this Cartier two-tone watch right here. So when you see the silver one with some gold flecks in the younger days, like these pictures here, that is her watch she bought herself. When you see the gold one, that is the one that was given to her that was Diana's Cartier watch. So again, I get a lot of comments saying, no, that's not Diana's, or no, that's the one she bought herself. There are two. They are identical. You just have to look at what the tone is. So the one on the left, Diana's, the one on the right is the one that she bought herself. Isn't that creepy? I didn't Google the royals. I didn't know anything about him. Yeah, okay. Bunny Boiler. Sure you didn't. Sure, Jan. Okay, so now that we're on the same page about that, let's take a look at me. And when we talk about the watch, I'll be saying, watch me. So you can tell she does poses to show off jewelry. I didn't realize it. Again, some fabulous people pointed out in my comments, and now it's all I see. So this is when she bought herself the silver Cartier tank watch. Look at these poses. What? That's just how you pose, right? And you might excuse one and say, she's playing with her hair. But guys, come on. They're like this. It's like, oh, look at me. She's doing that cross-legged, I gotta pee here. But also, look at my expensive watch. 2mm from mm. Look at me. Standing like I gotta pee again. 2mm from mm. So this pose seems to be before she discovered bronzer and spray tans within an inch of her life. I can't tell on this one. It doesn't look like the Cartier watch. It looks like she's just showing off a watch here. Look at me. Watch me. So, of course, this is before she had met Has No Balls and has not had the Diana watch yet. So she's showing off her watch. 2mm from mm. Watch me. P.S. Which face is this? Is it just me, or does she look totally different in these photos? Okay, weird. Okay, to further show how she poses with jewelry, look at this. I believe this is when she had the TIG. This is when she was dating Hazmat, and you can see they are wearing matching bracelets. This is her trying to get discovered of who she's dating without actually saying it. She's posing like this. Look there. Definitely with the jewelry tucked on the outside so it can clearly be seen. Look at me. Look at my jewelry. I have been in a secret relationship that I sure hope you figure out who it is. So now we're going to get into the Hank and Skank, the Harold and Fraud days. Let's take a look at some look at me moments with the jewelry, because this is where the hits just keep on coming. Get ready for this. So this is their engagement shoot, obviously. And so I don't even fault her for looking at the ring. We've all done it, right? It's part of the engagement shoot. Whatever, they're looking at the ring. Who cares? Okay, same thing. I'll kind of give her a pass here. It's her wedding day. You're going to show off the ring. It's part of it. I get it. But still, look at me. All eyes on me. But leading up to the wedding, when they were engaged, there are so many pictures like this. Look at my ring. Do you know who I am? Look at me. Look at my ring. I always know where the camera is, so I gotta show off my ring. Look at me. This is the bump before the bump. Look at my ring. You know how she always did the, look at my bump, look at my bump, bump, bump. You know, moving jackets, it's moving hands. Look at my ring. So someone's so camera aware, you're telling me she doesn't know exactly where that camera is? She does. Look at my ring. Ooh, look, there's a wedding band there now too. Look at me. I want to make sure that this is on camera. This is just how I pose. Look at me. Look at my ring. I just want to make sure you know I'm engaged. Look at my ring. It is funny. It's like the one time she would allow her face not to be in a shot is to make sure that that ring is shown. Gotta make sure you know Diana's diamonds are in the shot. Look at me. Oh, did you know I'm engaged to Diana's son? Look at me. I'm trying to be like Diana, but it'll never happen. Look at me. I have important thoughts. Just look at me. Here's my ring. Look at me. I'm acting like a 6-year-old at a garden party. Look at me. What? This is just how I stand and move. It's not to draw comparisons to Diana at all. Oh, but did you know some of the diamonds in my ring came from Diana? Look at me. All right, now we're going to get into some earring work because she does earring poses, I noticed too, like this one. You might say, Jen, she's caught off guard. No, she's not. She's pointing to them. She got these butterflies from Diana's collection, and she makes sure to show them off when she wears them by pointing at them or adjusting her hair around them. If I wear her earrings, people will love me like they love Diana, right? That's how that works? Ring and earrings, look at me. Oh, let's show off these earrings and ring, look at me. And here are the blood diamond earrings that are very controversial that she wore twice and then tried to get her people to lie about. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go back and watch my revenge coverage because we go into it. Yep, those are those earrings. Okay, now I want to get into just some general look at me's jewelry edition because now you can tell in some of these, in all of these poses, she's trying to show off mostly the watch, the Cartier love bracelet that Harry had given her, the ring, things like that. Just take a look at the poses and tell me that it's not meant to draw attention to her jewelry. Here we go. What? This is just how I stand. Look at me. Look at my jewelry. Oh, yeah, again, I know where the camera is, so I'm going to angle it so you can see all my jewelry. Look at me. Cosplaying as a Kardashian / Cardi B. Look at my jewels. Look at me. Oh, got to get this arm up so that way my jewelry can be in the picture. Look at me. Did you get my bracelet and ring in the shot? Okay, look at me. I'm wearing Diana's tennis bracelet. Look at me. Oh, is the bracelet in the shot? Okay, perfect. Look at me. Oh, this is just a totally normal way to stand when you're having your photo taken. Look at me. Oh, here's the rumpled up flamingo outfit. Let's make sure you can see my jewelry. Look at me. What, you thought that was a candid photo? Look at this one. Explain this pose. Look at my jewelry. Look at me pretending to be relaxed, but actually, look at my jewelry. Okay, this was at the Invictus Games when she wore a dreadfully untailored white suit. Now look at this. She's got to make sure the Diana watch me, is poking out from the long sleeves. So you might say, okay, that's just one pose there, but look at the backgrounds. They're changing. These are different photos. Is the Diana watch showing? Be sure to get a photo. Look at me. My hideously oversized Joker outfit might hide the Diana watch. Let me just get that out real quick. Look at me. Watch me. What? This is just how I stand. So you'll look at my jewelry. Even when I'm ticked off during a Zoom call and throwing a hissy fit in the background, look at my jewelry. Posing for an awkward magazine, look at my jewelry. Posing for an even more awkward magazine, look at my jewelry. It's important that I get my watch out underneath these long sleeves so you can see that I'm wearing Diana's watch. Look at me. It's important to me that you can see my watch and jewelry while posing with servicemen and women. Look at me. Let's make sure I turn the jewels toward camera. Look at me. Are you getting all the bracelets? Here they are. Look at me. Oh, here's my ring too. Look at me. Oh, more bracelets. Look at me. Weird fake hairstyle. Look at me. Jewelry. Being pensive on a Zoom call. Look at me. You guys, look at this face. Wasn't she an actress? What is this face? It's so good. Look at my face, but also look at my jewelry. One of the worst outfits I've ever seen on any human being ever in New York. Again, 80-something degrees during this trip. Look at my jewelry. I gotta get my arm out from under this big stupid wool coat for no reason. Look at my jewelry. I'm going to hold on to Doofus, but also show off my jewelry. Look at me. It's important to me to hold my arm all weird like this so that way I can show you my jewelry. Look at me. I have to make sure that my name is in the same sentence as Diana's name. Look at me. Look at my jewelry. I'm so surprised. I called the paparazzi on myself. Oh my goodness. I have no choice but to show off my jewelry. Look at me. It's also important to me to dress like this and to wear all my jewelry when I go on a hike. And a paparazzi just happens to find me. Look at me. It's also important to me that I have my photo made while doing quote unquote charity work, while showing off my jewelry. What? This is just how you hold things in pictures. It's not to show off the ridiculously expensive jewelry I'm wearing. Look at me. Oh my God, you guys, this was so much fun. I found so many examples of her posing to show off her jewels. And while some can be chalked up to she won't let go of her hair, we've talked about that, I do think a lot of it is to show off pieces. Chase me. That's right. I had a lot of requests for this one. We'll be taking a look at some of Meghan's look at me I'm sorry, let me try that again. Look at me moments. But instead, it's all about chase me. So it has to do with Meghan's fascination with the paparazzi and, well, calling them on herself. If you Google Meghan Markle paparazzi, you'll see there are a ton of articles much like this one talking about, well, how she likes to call them. We know this. We've seen that smile. She knows where the camera is all the time. So I thought I'd take a look at some of the chase me options since we are in the thick of it right now with the the alleged car chase, the near catastrophic car chase, if you ask them. I thought we could take a look at some of the times where she called the paparazzi on herself and, well, I wouldn't even say feigned surprise, more just smiled for the cameras. So without further ado, let's jump right on in and take a look at some of these chase me moments. So in no particular order, I would like to start with these. She's on a walk in Canada, right? She had no idea. I can't even get through that without laughing. She had no idea that the paparazzi would be there, you guys. This is a normal reaction when holding a baby, a doll, whatever you want to call it, and taking a walk with your dogs. Somebody's taking pictures of you. This is your reaction, right? It doesn't give away that you call the paparazzi on yourself. Chase me. Now, these are some of my personal favorites. This is when she was going through her, what I like to call Olsen twins look. My apologies to the Olsen twins. This was when she went to England and Gina Nelthorpe Crown, I hope I'm saying that right, had gone into this. She went to England and openly talked about looking for a rich Englishman. So during this time, it has come out that, again, she called the paparazzi on herself. There are many articles about it. You can look into it. But even if you didn't read the article, can't you tell by these poses? She just happens to walk up on a photographer who is taking pictures of her and she's making these faces. I find it very funny. This is before she would smile like a Cheshire cat for the photographers. Side note, I do remember reading, I believe it was in the book Revenge, that she had arranged this through that publicist that she had, that she eventually ghosted. And when the publicist arranged it, the photographers had no idea who she was, but they were paid to be there to take the photo so she could turn up like this. Chase me. Look, see, it's chase me. I'm just walking through England. She's just wearing sunglasses and in all black. So how would a photographer ever know or care who she was? You know what I mean? It could be, I pick somebody, Jennifer Aniston walking down the street. If you're wearing all black and sunglasses, I'm thinking you're probably not going to be noticed. But this photographer happened to know exactly where and who she was. I'm at a farmer's market. Again, they know exactly who and where I am. What a coincidence. Chase me. Seriously, you guys, I cannot with these photos. Just walking around looking all messy in a farmer's market, pretending like she had no idea why a paparazzi would be there and still smiling for the camera. When she was dating Harry, this seemed to be a move she liked to do as well. Here she is at the airport having her photo taken by a paparazzi who happened to know where to be to get that shot. Weird, right? Chase me. While working in Canada, same thing. Really like to call the paparazzi and then would smile at them like this and act surprised, like, oh my God, what are they doing here? It's so weird. There are tons of articles like this by the Mirror that show that she actually did have a normal life. Even though, shocker, she claimed completely different and said she couldn't go out. She couldn't do anything. Poor thing. It's almost like she knew that this would trigger Harry into moving faster if she claimed that the paparazzi were chasing her. Chase me. I'm super important. Photograph me. Isn't it cool how paparazzi just hang out in the snow and wait for people to show up so they can photograph them like that? Oh, guys, she's getting into another car chase. Oh no, near catastrophic. You guys, look at the pose. Chase me. Again, paparazzi, really? Okay, I want to spend about 45 minutes talking to you guys about this one because this has come up quite a bit in my research. Look at all those people that are surrounding her, you guys. She couldn't live a normal life. This is in Canada. This is before she was publicly dating Harry, and she was so desperate for the press to find out about it that she would call the paparazzi on herself, allegedly, and coincidentally happened to be wearing H&M necklaces. Doesn't want people to find out, but advertising it around her neck. Oh, but it gets better. I knew about the necklaces, didn't know about this. It gets weirder. So apparently during the same time around when she was dating Harry living in Canada, she was wearing a ring that had a big H on it as well. So again, it's also been discussed how in the TIG she would drop these big hints too, like had a lovely time in London, and seeing a special guy, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Wearing those matching bracelets with him, things like that, just praying that the press would report on who she was dating so that way she could speed things up and say the press was hounding her plan all along. But back to these flower photos, because they really do make me laugh. Tell me you set up a photo op without telling me you set up a photo op, right? One paparazzi here taking your photos while you're smiling and picking up flowers. I just wondered, was it, oh, who sent her flowers? Let's talk about that. Or was it Dum Prince would see this and think somebody else sent her flowers and keep him interested? I'm just trying to figure out what game they were both playing at this point. Chase me and my yoga mat. I'm now deciding I'm not happy about the paparazzi that I called on myself. This picture I found while putting this together and I couldn't stop laughing. I've discussed the wide stance before. Here we are again. What am I looking at? What is this picture? Chase me. I wear my sunglasses at night. Chase me. Hunchback of Montecito. Her coat looks like it's on backwards. Chase me. Oh, some more of my faves, you guys. The paparazzi knew where she'd be having lunch. So here we are, not at all posed, right? Oh, chase me. Here I am in a stupid, expensive outfit showing off my jewelry. Chase me. Oh, it's getting even better. Totally normal way to pose, right? You go for a hike, when those paparazzi know where you're going to be hiking. And you're dressed like this, acting like this, but, chase me. The paparazzi are photographing me. I cannot with this. Again, think she's the smartest in the room. No water bottle, no actual evidence of hiking except for, there's a paparazzi. I just happen to know where he's going to be, and I'm smiling at him. Chase me. Now, I've done the look at me pictures where the photographer is out in the open and she always knows where he or she is and will make eye contact with the camera. But I had to include these in this. Yeah, they're not paparazzi. They're, obviously her wedding photographer. But oh my God, do these haunt you to your soul like they do me? Because I can't get these images out of my head. It's the most look at me thing I've ever seen. Of course, a bride is going to smile at the camera on her wedding day. I don't fault her for that, but it's just, I mean, you feel it too, right? This is insane looking. This is frightening. This scares me. Somebody hold me. And her ridiculous, over-the-top, extravagant baby shower that the paparazzi happened to know about because, they were tipped off and given a place to stand, Yeah, that happened. Chase me. Okay, let's talk about the car chase that wasn't. I have talked about this at length, so you can definitely go find my videos on the details that make no sense. But right now I want to focus on the chase me of it all, because I suspect that's the reason that Harold and Fraud, Hank and Skank are demanding images from things like Backgrid and stuff, is because she can't stop smiling in the photos. She loves it. Chase me. Dory has fallen asleep. She's like smiling like a Cheshire cat from ear to ear, and Harry's doing whatever the hell Harry's doing. I called them sleepy, smirky, and scowly before, and I think it still fits because look at this. She, again, chase me. Tell me she didn't come up with this idea. She's so proud of herself for this idea. I think it wasn't until the backlash hit that she probably, I don't know if she has that much self-awareness, if she realized it was a bad idea, but at the time she thought it was the best thing she thought of. Chase me. You guys had so many requests for another look at me video, so I thought, yeah, let's do that. And when I was looking through photos, I found so many fake laugh videos where you can closely see the laugh isn't true. It's not genuinely meeting her eyes. Yeah, you can just tell it's fake. And she looks for the camera. Case in point, this picture. So let's take a look at some look at me fake laugh edition. Look at me. I'm in a Julia Roberts movie. And I want to give credit to H.G. Tudor because I love his stuff. I love his voice. And he did this whole series about meeting Meghan and how her go-to move when they met was throwing her head back and laughing hysterically at nothing. And so I started looking through pictures, and sure enough, there's lots of that going on. The camera's here. It's time for me to laugh at nothing. Look at me. Nobody else is smiling anywhere around me here, but look at me. Laughing hysterically in the center of the stage. You guys, I have a whole video on this one. It's under so much cringe. Go watch it. Look at me. I know where the camera is. I'm going to pretend like he's saying the funniest thing I've ever heard. Look at me. I'm aware of where the camera is, and so this is my moment to act like I have a sense of humor. Look at me laughing hysterically. And then beep boop right back to whatever this robot look is. Back to this photo shoot. Look at me. If I squish my eyes real tight, then maybe they'll think I'm genuinely laughing. I'm not. Look at me. Maybe if I cover my mouth and I wear messy hair, they won't notice that I'm not genuinely laughing. Ha 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 ha. Look at me. Am I genuinely laughing? Probably not, but I sure know where the camera is, so look at me. Maybe if I point to myself while pretending to laugh, I'll fool everybody into looking at me. When I can't actually get a laugh to happen, I make this face right here to try to trick people into thinking I'm laughing along with them. Look at me. Remember when I mock curtsied and disrespected the Queen? Yeah, I'm hysterical. Look at me. Maybe if I hold my hand near my mouth, people will believe that I'm genuinely laughing and smiling, but probably not. Look at me. You guys, these jeans are the funniest jeans I've ever tried to put on. I can't put them on or take them off. Look at me. So I'll flip my hair to the side and try again because pants are hard, but it's really funny apparently. Look at me. Ooh, back to the covered smile again. Maybe if I do this enough, they'll believe it. Look at me. My hair might be messy, but I know where the camera is, so I'll lean toward it and pretend like I'm laughing while showing off my ring. You know, my go-to move. Look at me. I'm about to get kicked out of a garden party, so I should probably pretend like I'm laughing and covering my mouth again. Look at me. That's the funniest thing I've ever heard. What am I laughing at? I'm not really sure, but People think I'm really funny if I make this face. Do you want to know how to look condescending and like you're trying to laugh all at the same time? Well, just look at me. Oh no, I'm wrong. My apologies. This is the condescending laugh face. The hand didn't really work, so I'm going to try scrunching up my nose. Look at me. It's so funny I'm laughing, but I forgot to tell my eyes that it's funny. Oh no, the camera's pointed at me and Dum-Dum's looking in the wrong direction. You better look at me and laugh. Playing with my hair, look at me. You know how I know something's really funny? I clap my hands together and make this face. Look at me. You know what's so funny here? All the peasants that paid for tickets to the tennis match, and I had to clear out a whole section so the cameras could look at me. I don't really like that the question's not directed at me, so I'm going to make this face and pretend like I think it's hilarious. This is my politician smile, where it's not actually genuine or real, but I'm going to use this photo in my campaign. Look at me. I'm sorry, I will never not think this is funny. This picture. She's like, look at me. I have a really good sense of humor while I hike. You know, I didn't call the paparazzi on myself. This is how I stand and smile on my neckerchief. Look at me. Ooh, we got some cringe to get into. I'm so excited about this one, you guys. Oh, so much to talk about. Okay, I'm going to tell you how these two embarrassed themselves so hysterically funny and so bad, and it's going to be great. And I can't wait to go over it with you. And then we're going to go into what happened with this. One of my all-time favorite pictures, maybe my all-time favorite picture. And I found out the scoop on what's going on. Okay, I don't know exactly what's going on, but I'll tell you something funny I did learn. You guys, I'm excited about this one. All in the same night, all this happened. First, I want to give a shout out to St. Meghan Markle. I love this group so much. They came up with this and made me aware of this video. I'm very excited to watch it with you and go over it with you. And it's courtesy of The Sun. I'm able to use it because of fair use. So we'll be watching it, recapping it, slowing it down, zooming it in. So much to talk about. Okay, let me start by giving you an overview of what this event was. So Mountbatten Festival of Music, from what I could tell, seems to be a yearly event, and it features the massed bands of Her Majesty's Royal Marines. And in 2020, it was March 7th, 2020, that Hank and Skank went to this event. Okay. It was taking place over 2 nights at the Royal Albert Hall. Again, they were on their way out the door. As this was March 2020, they were headed to Canada. I'm using quotes on that one because we know where they were headed. Okay. The purpose of these concerts is to display the outstanding versatility of some of the world's finest military musicians. They're given the West End treatment with spectacular lighting effects. The festival sees the Royal Marines showcase their incredible musicianship and pageantry and features a wide range of musical styles, including music from the big screen and superb solo items, as well as traditional marches and overtures that have proved such a hit with audiences over the years. That's read directly off of the Facebook post from this actual event, again, March 7th, 2020. You're going to dive right into this video. I'm very excited about this. It should be pointed out in my research that people said it was a faux pas that she wore red. That it distracts from the military uniform. So she was not supposed to be wearing this color, but I take that with a grain of salt. She loves to do shit like that, so that doesn't shock me in the least, especially if you're not supposed to wear this color, she's going to wear that color, right? Think Catherine's christening, right? When she wasn't supposed to wear olive, and she wore olive, that kind of thing. So here we are with the bright red dress. Anywho, so at this event, they arrive late. They walk in, you can clearly see in the video, they're walking in after everybody else has already been there. They arrive to take their seats. So what they don't realize is that, again, they've arrived late, they probably know that, but they don't realize that people are applauding the bands. People are applauding the musicians on stage and the talent there. Not these two. These two walk in late and think everybody's cheering for them. So I want you to keep that in your head as you watch this video because we are going to break it down. Just keep that in your mind. This applause is not for them. Here we go. Oh my God, I'm cringing so hard. Okay, let's watch this again. Okay, so they walk in late, right? And people are turning because they're the assholes walking in late. They're already applauding. It is not for them. It is for the band. It is for the talent on the stage, not these assholes, these no talent ass clowns. It is for the people on the stage. But of course, they think it's about them. Look at the people's faces around them. If you have any doubt, look at the lady in the glasses to the left of Harry and behind Meghan. Those two ladies, they know what's going on. They even look to their spouses like, what the hell is with these people? They're so confused. They think everybody is applauding for them. It's not. Even the woman to the left is whispering, see, to her husband, saying they think it's about them. They're assholes. They're making it about them. It's not. It's about the talented musicians on stage. Isn't that hilarious? Oh my God. I will never not find this funny. Okay, last time. So look, I zoomed in and I moved it over more to the left. Watch the lady in the far left top corner of your screen. She's realizing what's happening, right? So is the lady in the glasses. That these assholes walked in late, think it's about them when they're all applauding the band. They're already applauding when they walked in. Do they think everybody's psychic? But look at the lady to the left. She's about to whisper it to her husband what happened because she realizes, look at her face. She realizes what's going on. It's hilarious that they think it's about them. So of course they do, right? Of course they do. They walk in, everything's about them. Dum-dums are waving and pretending to be modest about it. Like, oh, I can't believe they're applauding for us. It's not for you, you assholes. Anyway, oh God, I could watch this a million times. It's so much fun. Okay, from one cringe to another, let's talk this. Oh, you guys, I love this picture so much. Okay, I wish I could tell you exactly what was going on in this picture. I cannot for sure tell you what's going on. I can tell you what I read and what my opinion is of what's going on in this picture. Oh, it's too good. Okay, so allegedly, they realized, no, let me try that again. He doesn't realize anything. She realized what happened and that the ovation was not for them and that they look like the assholes that we know they are, right? So she's mad. And so then they take a further faux pas, they take a further misstep and think that they're behind blacked out windows. They're not. So this is her, again, this is all alleged. We don't know what was going on in the car, but from what I could tell, from what my research said, was she may have been having a severe reaction to the lack of standing ovation and realizing what they did. And again, with another misstep, thinks they're behind blacked out glass and is reacting to it right now. I don't know. Part of me I do think that that's probably what happened, but then I think, no, they don't have that much self-awareness. She's just, I don't know, mad because it's a Tuesday or whatever. Like, she's just mad because she's mad, and he's just sulky because that's what he does. Now he's got a MO where he sits in the back of a car and sulks. See the near catastrophic car chase. He sits in the back of the car and sulks. That's what he does. So it could just be that, but I like to think that she realized what asses they look like, and yeah. And then this happened. Oh, God. It's the gift that keeps on giving, right? We're talking cringe. That's right. We are going to deep dive that 2019 Lion King event, and ooh, it gets super cringe. So you're going to have to buckle up for this one. We're going to go into the Bob Iger pitch. We're going to go into... They also pitched themselves to somebody else at this premiere. Cringe. This is when they were still pretending to be working royals. We're going to go into the elephant documentary that resulted from the pitch. We're going to go into what happened to the money. We'll get into that. That was supposed to be donated from the documentary. We're going to go into what else happened at this premiere. You guys, spoiler, this is the one where Meghan claims in Cut Magazine that the Lion King actor from South Africa, said that the people of South Africa danced in the streets the same way they did when Mandela was freed. Ooh, so much cringe, so much havoc caused in one single night, as well as, I hate this dress so much. I've gone into that into detail, but still, I can't overlook it so much. Let's dive into so much cringe. Right, first off, definitely go back and watch my fashion fails because I go hardcore into how bad this dress failed. It was not properly fit or tailored. It's an awful length. It didn't flatter at all. The mesh is stretched. It doesn't photograph well. It just did no favors for her whatsoever. And Hasnabal's pants actually were high waters. And it's hard to tell in these photos. I've seen other photos where the pants weren't quite right either. So these two were a mess this night. But as awful as the outfits were, and they are, that's the least offensive thing to happen on this night. So this is 2019. Again, Lion King premiere there in London. These two were still pretending to be working royals at this point. Whew, we're just going to dive right in and take a look at the video of these two pitching themselves. I played it not long ago in a video, but I didn't break it all down. So this video is 50 seconds long. I'm just going to let it play because you need to hear it first, and then we're going to rewatch it. I'm going to talk you through it.
That's really why we're here. It's the pitch.
Just not skull.
Oh my gosh, so much cringe. Okay, can we just take a look at this now? All right. So that is Jon Favreau there with the glasses. Of course, aware she was pitching, or they were pitching to Bob Iger. I didn't know they were pitching to Jon Favreau as well. I mean, that guy does everything from Iron Man movies to Swingers to Mandalorian, you name it, he's done it. Harry's pitching them hardcore for voiceover work. And Meghan makes a joke, well, that's why we're here, to pitch. That's Beyonce straight back and Jay-Z to the right, back. You can see him in the back there. Harry, while pitching them for voice work, says he'll do anything, just not Scar. Again, these are supposed to be working members of the royal family at this event and pitching themselves for work. The irony is not lost on me that Harry is saying no to Scar, even though, like Scar, he became the main antagonist of the family. So it is funny. Usually Meghan is hyper aware of the cameras, but now she's distracted because she's talking to Beyonce. So she's unaware. For once, she's not playing look at me with the camera, but look at Doofus. He's completely unaware that the camera's right on him as he's pitching to a seemingly surprised Bob Iger. Just like hell, I can remember which book it was because I've read so many recently. It was either Revenge or Courteous. They go into this interaction and they talk about how taken aback Bob Iger was. Now, I'd love to say he was, but we know she ends up getting work because of this. So maybe he, I think he was okay. So Meghan is happily chatting to Beyonce, and again, Dum Dum is talking to Bob Iger, pitching that we'd love to try. I bet she was pissed that he didn't just pitch her, he pitched both of them. But he's trying to say she does voiceovers, and then he says, you seem surprised, and then kind of works in that they're both interested. Bob Iger's wife, Willow, standing right next to them. And if you look to the left, see Elton John sitting down just behind Willow. And David Furnish, his husband, actually just leaned down to whisper something to him. I'd like to think he said, Can you believe this ass clown is pitching himself? Seriously, he's a working royal at this point and pitching himself and the wife for work. I just want you to think about that. Imagine William and Catherine pitching themselves for work. Like Catherine pitching herself for a, I don't know, advertising campaign or a photo shoot or something like at a royal event. It just wouldn't happen. It's ridiculous. It's so cringy to watch. So I did some Googling. I found where publications were covering it. E! News talked about it, and they call it the elevator pitch. They were still pretty gentle on them, but I just find it so cringy. But they pointed out that, again, that Jon Favreau was there, and I just wondered, did he like slink off to the side? Was he creeped out too? Because all of a sudden he disappears out of the shot. We'll get into more cringe that resulted from that night, but let me go into this. So as a result of this, she ended up getting voiceover work in I guess it's a documentary, the show Elephant, which is on Disney Plus. It came out in 2020 on Disney Plus. I wonder if Hazmat got upset because he doesn't have a part in this. But regardless, of course, she's in it, and she's billed as Duchess of Sussex. Wow. So when I was Googling it to learn about it, I did find articles such as this. Critics slam Meghan Markle's voiceover work on Disney's Elephant documentary, saying it's packed with, quote, schmaltz and cheesiness. They go on to point out that most viewers gave the film a solid 3-star rating, citing the stunning cinematography as the main draw, but Meghan's narration as, quote, a slightly annoying detail to overcome. I haven't actually watched it, but based on what little bit I've heard of her podcast and her speeches and how much she loves to hear herself talk, I don't doubt that for a second. So, when researching this, it has been brought to my attention by so many of you guys, and, well, when you Google it, you start to learn a little bit more. I'm going to show you what is being alleged. This is all alleged. It's hard to prove stuff like this, so we're just going to talk in general terms here. Ready? Because she was a working royal, the way I'm understanding is she would not have been paid for this role. Now, again, I wish I could remember which book it was. I want to say it was Revenge. Maybe it was Courtiers. Went into this, that it was more of a stepping stone for them, knowing that they would be, well, stepping down. So it was more about exposure at the time. The payment that they wouldn't be receiving instead was meant to be a donation for Elephants Without Borders. So it was the Times of London that was reporting this deal, which was supposed to benefit the conservation charity, like I say, Elephants Without Borders. I keep seeing it was undisclosed. I've heard several million, but again, I have not been able to find the specific number. It sounds like negotiations were pretty much under wraps. I'm going to get into it. Some people have done some digging and think they've found some numbers, but again, it's alleged, so you got to take it with a grain of salt. So when you jump on your Google machine, you'll find that the alleged amount it's being reported around $3 million. Then on further Googling Meghan Markle elephant's paycheck, you will find that people are reporting allegedly that Disney said it wasn't donated. Now, I found somebody, again, take it with a grain of salt, that did a deep dive into this, and they kind of looked into what happened with the money. Okay, so this user's name is Build the Herd. They are reporting that Meghan's compensation for the project was $3 million. Person goes on to report, hey, it's kind of weird, right? Because they can't find that dollar amount anywhere being reported as having been donated. Upon further digging, it does appear like the compensation has somehow disappeared. They don't know, they can't find that the compensation has been made to Elephant Without Borders. She tried to do some digging through the websites and through tax forms with the IRS, Elephants Without Borders themselves. It was released in March of 2020. She looked into, well, it should have been done around 2019 to 2020 and looked deeply into the 2 years, and here's what she found. So this person ran into a bunch of questions along the way and never could find the exact amount that was being reported. And they did see where Disney has worked with the organization. They just couldn't find specifically on this project what was being announced to have been donated. So what's being alleged here, and again, we don't know, but what's being alleged is that on paper it was announced these terms, but what seems to, or I guess what's being filed is more of along the lines of, she's reporting in 2019, 498,000 was donated, 201,000 in 2020, it looks like. Now, there are stories floating around. Take them with a grain of salt. We don't know. But allegedly, it was given to Markle and then not donated. That's one possibility that's out there if you do some Googling. The other possibility is that Disney directly donated some or all of it, and then maybe she got paid on the side. I think the truth maybe lies somewhere in between. Again, this is complex and interesting. I've had a lot of comments saying, she didn't donate. Maybe that's the case. It's really hard to prove that. I find it all so interesting. I've had a lot of comments saying that you believe she kept it. There's about a million possibilities. It's hard to prove regardless. Okay, so moving on from that, let's get back to the night in question. So the Lion King premiere, right? There is no footage of this. Interesting. Even though there is footage of them pitching themselves to Disney and Jon Favreau, there's no footage of this. She gives an interview, that Cut magazine interview. Okay, so in it she says that at this live action premiere, 2019 London premiere, The Lion King, she had just had Archie, and she says it was a cruel chapter, of course. She said she was scared to go out. She didn't look scared, but okay. A cast member from South Africa pulled her aside. She goes on to say, quote, "He looked at me, and he's just light. He's just like light," he said. "I just need you to know, when you married into this family, we rejoiced in the streets the same way we did when Mandela was freed from prison." Okay. All right. So that is the claim from Meghan Markle. You see it there. That is the direct quote of her interview in that Cut magazine. That's what she's claiming. All right. Let's take a look.
Said that she was pulled aside by a South African cast member of the live action version of The Lion King during its 2019 premiere in London. Meghan claimed she was told that the people in South Africa rejoiced on the streets amid her wedding to Prince Harry the same way they had when the activist Nelson Mandela was freed from prison. The claims have since been denied by an acclaimed actor at the premiere who said he was the only South African cast member. Dr. Kani, voice of Rafiki in The Lion King and veteran of the Royal Shakespeare Company, claimed the line by Meghan was a faux pas as he had never met the Duchess. "I've never met the Duchess at all. I'm the only South African member of the cast, and I did not attend the premiere in London. It is baffling to me. I am the only South African in the cast."
Okay, so this is Dr. John Kani, and he is the only South African star of this Disney show, and he said he never met Meghan. So much like the mystery of the person that kneeled in the aisle in the airplane to thank her for her service, there's mystery over this as well, because Dr. John Kani says he never met her. And since then, Nelson Mandela's grandson slammed Meghan Markle for suggesting that South Africans would celebrate her wedding the same way they rejoiced Nelson Mandela's freedom. And I've actually had quite a few in the comments from South Africa that have lived in South Africa, that were born there, saying, no, it did not happen. That's not a thing. No. I mean, so from beginning to end, it was one giant cringe fest. The pitch meeting while being working royals, the elephant documentary that resulted, but that got panned for her performance, the money discrepancies allegedly that might have resulted, that's still a mystery. The Cut magazine interview that She claims that this actor said things, and then this actor said, no, I didn't even meet her. Comparing herself to Mandela, basically in the sense that people in South Africa danced in the street the same way they did for Mandela. It's just one giant cringe fest. I mean, can these two ever tell the truth about anything? I ask you. It doesn't appear to. And again, I mean, it's just a disaster of a night. From the make-believe stories to the outfits themselves, they probably just should have stayed home. Ooh, I'm excited to dive into this one. By popular request and demand, you guys asked that I pull up the Serena Williams US Open, her mom ignoring Meghan cringe video. So we are going to get into that. You guys, when I was researching this, I found out a bunch of funny things that happened this day. So we're going to talk about all of it because it sounds like Meghan was just striking out everywhere. I'm not good at sports analogies, but she's striking out everywhere, and it's going to be a fun, cringe train wreck to watch. So let's get into it. All right, so let me set the stage for you. This was the US Open. It was held in late August and early September of 2019. Now, just a reminder, Archie was born in May of 2019. I'm not going there. I don't care if she went. He was 3 months old, whatever. Take that how you will. I only bring it up because I do remember them making a big deal about it at the time, and it has been brought up in some of the books that she flew over just to watch Serena play in the US Open when Archie was pretty young. Okay, so I Googled to find the video, and we will watch the video. We're going to break it down, don't you worry. But I found out some interesting information even leading up to the awkwardness in the video. So Meghan is making her grand entrance here, right? She sits next to Serena's mom. Her name is Oracene Price. That is her to the left. And Meghan wasted no chance to take this photo opportunity. We're going to see it here. Lots of dramatic faces, making it all about her. Lots of smug and look at me. And all the faces that she's known for, right? Even dramatic faces like this one. I find it very telling that Serena's mother is watching intensely her daughter play, and it's Meghan that's being dramatic. She's being the drama queen here. Of course she is, right? She has that weird sixth sense of where the camera is at all times. She's always looking, look at me. You know, we've talked about it. Okay, when researching this, I fell down a rabbit hole learning about this. Did Serena Williams' coach say Meghan Markle was a jinx? I was like, what is this? What are they talking about? You guys, sure enough, they are calling Meghan Markle a jinx. And again, I don't follow this stuff, so I started learning about it. And if you Google it, it's a thing. So apparently her coach is reported to have said that Meghan Markle's a jinx. She's lost. She's been to, at the time, she had been to the US Open 2019, which Serena lost. She had been to Wimbledon 2 times that Serena lost. And so fans were calling her out and calling her a jinx. And I don't know, this just struck me so funny. You know that pissed Meghan Markle right off. I'm sure she threw out the ist words that she loves, but I just find it really funny that at that time, that was 3 of the, tennis matches she had been to, and Serena, like this amazing world-renowned tennis player, had lost the ones that Meghan had been to. So yeah, they're calling her a jinx. Okay, so the reason that this video was so requested is because Jay and I have been covering cringe moments with Meghan. We did the USO cringe, the polo match cringe where she was trying to kiss all his teammates. Oh my God, go back and watch those of you. I just shudder every time I talk about that. Oh, it's so cringy. And then this one was recommended, and I even said in some of the comments, like, oh God, I don't even know about this one. I need to look into it. You guys, I found the video. Shall we take a look? I would say allow yourself plenty of wiggle room because you're gonna shudder watching this. All right, so here's the video, and I'm gonna play it back, but here's just the original video. There is no sound to it. She's trying to talk to Serena's mom. It's like she knows the camera's on her. She's trying to talk to her, and Serena's mom is watching the game as you would. Meghan couldn't care less. She's talking to herself. She's doing that thing where she kind of chuckles to herself to make it seem like she's part of the conversation. It's so awkward. All I can think of, too, with the hand gestures is it's very... Remember Nicole Kidman was caught on camera doing that weird hand clap thing. that's what seems to be happening here. So the person who posted this video slowed it down so we could see it up close. Again, trying to talk to Serena's mom or scene, and I mean, the mom's trying to watch her daughter play. Get a clue, Meghan. Oh, it's just so cringy. So yeah, Meghan's just in her own little world. Here we go. It's slowed down again. So she's just in her own little world. She's trying to make it all about her. And again, I feel like she knows the cameras are on her. So look how close I am with Serena's mom, and when you really look at it, Serena's mom is paying attention to her daughter as she should be. And Meghan's the one just like making it about herself. Look at my weird hand claps. Look at my laughing. It's so funny. I'm part of this. I'm part of the inside joke. It reminds me of like Michael Scott, he tried to be part of an inside joke and he just wasn't. And it left you feeling so cringy and awkward. That's kind of what I feel like we're looking at here. Oh, I'm shaking my shoulders. Ugh, it's so cringy. Let her watch her daughter. All right, so we've seen in the same event the weird faces she's making, the weird attempts to, I don't know, befriend Serena's mom and to be part of the group. We've seen she was referred to as a jinx. Now let's see, how do I say this? Let's feast our eyes on something else. Very cringy. Now, I remember hearing about this at the time. And listen, I will fault her for a number of things, what she deserves to be faulted for. I don't know if I don't know about this one. I'm just going to present it to you. You make up your own mind on what's going on here. But it could be taken a certain way that is very cringe. Let's take a look. All right. I had heard reports, rumors, whatever you want to call them, that at this event, she was very flirty with Serena's husband, Alexis. Now, when I see this picture, I don't get I just think, okay, look at me. I'm in the camera. I'm hugging the superstar's husband. I'm popular and important. So I'm not it's just like, it could be your friend's husband hug, whatever. We've all done it. That's not a big deal. I don't think anything about that. Now, look at me eyes, by the way. There you go. It gets weirder. Let me show you what I'm talking about. When you Google Meghan Markle flirting, it comes up with this guy. His name is Alexis. It comes up with, or I think it even says flirting with Serena's husband, which again, take it with a grain of salt. But let me show you this. I did not make these arrows. Somebody else made these, and I find it very funny. Look at this picture. I'm like, whoa, what am I looking at here? So again, when you Google it, this photo is just out there. So I don't know. Maybe it's photoshopped. People added these arrows. I think it's funny. Interesting. I remember hearing reporting on this at the time, and then somebody else, again, I didn't circle this, somebody else did, showing the placement of the legs, the flirty nature in which the discussion's being had. It's just interesting. It's all part of it, and it is very interesting. Do you remember hearing about this story at the time? Did this register at all? Again, do you think this is nonsense? Would you put it past her? Yacht girl, what are your thoughts on this? Do you think, is there something there? Is it just, pictures taken out of context? I don't know. I'll let you judge for yourself, but interesting and funny on the heel. If it was just this standalone, I probably wouldn't even talk about it because, again, it could be dismissed. But it's funny putting it in context with Meghan's dramatic pictures, the being ignored by Serena's mom, and the cringy moments, and then being called a jinx, and now allegations of flirting with the hubby. I don't know. It's a lot. Yeah, I'm thinking maybe you should have stayed back from this trip. It sounds like you were a jinx to yourself, to Serena, to everybody around you. Oh my goodness, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. If you want to see more like this, by all means, leave me comments. If there's another cringe moment, please leave me comments. I am down to take a look and break it down because I find it fascinating. She cannot get out of her own way. So much cringe, you guys. Let's take a look back at that Oprah interview. Now, I have done videos about this before. We've been there in depth about it. So I'm not going to go over every single lie. What I thought was we'd kind of give an overview of the interview. I'll give you some facts, maybe some behind the scenes stuff. We'll get into user reviews of this interview. And I didn't even know that was a thing. I stumbled upon it on IMDb, and spoiler alert, people hated it. And it's very funny to read the review. So I thought, let's take a look at that. Since we've been doing these deep dives and these so much cringe videos, I thought, well, we gotta go for the cringiest, right? Gotta go for this Oprah interview. So we'll jump right on in. There's so many quotes like this one, and it makes you wonder whether anything they said about racism in the royal family or the fact that Meghan couldn't get help with her mental health were true. Yeah, none of it was true. Actually, I can answer that. But anyway, so many quotes like this coming out. So many things have been uncovered since the interview. So I thought, you know what? Let's just take a look at the cringe and talk about it. All right. Since Fraud of Harold and Fraud took main stage in this interview, meaning she was on the screen the most, let's talk her. So when you look at this, what stands out? So many things. The bird shit dress, the stupid hair, the makeup. I'm like, what is up with her eyeliner? Well, I'll tell you what's up with her eyeliner. This is what's up with her eyeliner. How Princess Diana used makeup as a weapon. Interesting. I would say that Meghan's doing the same thing. So if you recall, when Diana did the famous interview, now infamous interview with Martin Bashir, she did the dark eyeliner, and look at that. Meghan decided to do the same thing. It's almost like she did it on purpose. The other thing that she accidentally did, I'm using huge stupid air quotes on that one, accidentally did was, hey, dress and act exactly like Wallace Simpson. Total coincidence, right? Not at all pre-planned down to the bird shit dress? Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. Look at the hair, look at all of it. Yep, yeah. I'm sure her blind followers will say, no, I don't see the likeness, but hello. Nothing she does is on accident. It's all pre-planned, premeditated, however contrived, I think is the word. Even down to the fake tears that weren't actually there, but if she rubs her hand close enough to her eye, she won't smear her makeup, but it'll appear to some like she actually has tears, thus believing some of the stuff she's saying. I don't know how she can. Which brings me to this point. So many things have come out. I think they came out within hours of the interview, but in the days to follow, the weeks to follow, and now the years to follow, so many things have come out and been proven untrue, been proven exaggerated, and some are just listed in the unprovable file. This article comes out of Express and says Meghan and Harry's interview with Oprah included over 30 lies. And then goes on to cite Tom Bower's book. We've been through Tom Bower's book. Definitely go back and listen to those recaps if you haven't already, because those are some of my favorite that I've done. He really goes deep into this and, well, again, all the lies. So just a reminder, this premiered March 7th, 2021. It was filmed in Santa Barbara, California, and it came the year after Harry and Meghan announced their decision to step down, you know, the whole thing, which happened in January 2020. The interview talked about all their stuff, the courtship, the wedding, their children, take that how you will, mental health struggles, and then a whole bunch of fiction mostly. So the funny thing is, when you start looking up Harry and Meghan Oprah lies, look into Wikipedia. Because, yeah, it goes over the numbers like, it was released this day, all the stuff I've been telling you, right? Where it was filmed, that sort of thing. But there is a section under there called Veracity and Context of Claims. And then there's point after point after point of things that have since come out to be not true. And I've just not quite seen... I haven't quite seen an article like this where it's like they have to seriously backtrack on a lot of stuff. And the funny thing is, people like Wikipedia are pointing it out. Again, if you just Google it, there's a million articles out there. I have YouTube videos on it. A lot of people have YouTube videos about proven lies from the Oprah interview, that sort of thing. The only ones that are in denial about it are Harry, Meghan, and Oprah. And the Sugars, of course, but that's not saying much. They're in denial about a lot of stuff. Now, let's get to the fun stuff. Let's look at people's unconscious bias and take a look at the reviews that people have left about this thing. So all I did was jump on Google. I honestly didn't even think I'd be able to find reviews. I thought it'd just be articles. But I didn't realize IMDb actually has the reviews up. So we can take a look at this. And this is what you see when you first pull it up. So it looks like it's got 2.4 stars with 182 ratings. I'm sure it pisses her right off, but I find it hilarious. Now let's take a look at some of these ratings that people have left. Clown Prince and Princess of La La Land, 1 out of 10 stars. It says, what a load of tosh. Each sentence uttered, I love Tosh, by the way. Each sentence uttered is drenched in hypocrisy and self-pity. A pathetic marketing exercise in how to sell any ounce of decency you once might have had to an audience that doesn't give a rodent's bottom who you are. Disowned by family, disconnected from reality, sad. All right, this one's called One-Sided Interview. They wanted a private life. So far, a podcast deal, Netflix deal, this interview. Oh, this was written before Spare. Just you wait, my friend, much more coming. The program itself has a major flaw. I'd say it has lots of major flaws. And shows two people airing a family matter, lots of family matters, on TV that wanted privacy, which immediately makes you question the motive behind this interview. Is it true? The age-old saying, 2 sides to every story applies. Here's the deal, though. They'll only take softball interviews like this. It's not even an interview. It's a list of pre-planned out questions agreed upon by both sides, and nothing is fact-checked, nothing is questioned, nothing is challenged. And that's how they like it. Because look what happens when they are challenged. Look at Harry on the stand and how horribly he did. And how we got to see him try to think on his feet. Yes, that's scary, I know. That's how that goes, right? Look how that turned out. So they can't handle it. So they have to do these, again, softball celebrity friend interviews. I wouldn't even call it an interview. These, I don't know, chats. This one's called Boo Hoo. Oh, please, take your millions of dollars and stop crying about what you went through. Instead, take a walk down the streets of LA and see how real people are suffering. And Oprah, you've really shown your true colors here. I thought you were a fair and honest journalist. I guess I was wrong. I'd go ahead and chuck Gayle in that category too. And the reason I say that is because obviously they're BFFs, but we've seen how Gayle stands up for these two blindly. And how they scratch each other's backs, right? They gave CBS like first whatever announcement about Archie. They kind of cut the palace out of that whole deal. It was very weird. Go back again and listen. I talk about it in depth with the Revenge book. But yeah, and then recently, even with the car chase, Gayle is like, oh, I can't believe people don't believe them. I'm like, they have a track record for lying about everything. Are we really surprised that nobody believes them? Okay, this review is called, It's as if she bought a ticket to see the movie Titanic and then was shocked to see that it sank. The 1.5-hour interview kept my interest, not because the interview was spellbinding, but because it was a downhill trip from the start. Meghan made a fool of herself when she willfully stated that she knew next to nothing about Prince Harry, the man she married. He's a member of one of the most talked about families in the entire world. What bubble has she been living in? It's as if she bought a ticket to see the movie Titanic and was shocked to see that it sank. Who doesn't know this? I think about this a lot too. It's the whole... What's the word? She likes to be contrarian. Like, I met my future in-laws, the king and queen to be of England, in ripped jeans and barefoot. And yet we'll go to a homeless shelter dripping in jewels and diamonds and the fanciest of fancy bullshit ever, right? Like every label ever. Okay. So that doesn't make any sense. Then she comes out with this, I don't know, it was like international studies, international relations, who cares? And yet brags, I didn't know anything about my husband. I didn't know anything about his family. You guys, one of the funniest things to come out of this, one of you guys in the comments said, I believe that she didn't Google Harry. It's because she was busy Googling William. And that's how she learned about Harry, or that's how she knew everything about the family. She probably wasn't Googling Harry. You're brilliant. I love that so much. You're spot on. Go ahead and add that she was Googling Diana as well, but All right. I love the title of this one. 2 millionaires chat with a billionaire. About the hardships of becoming a princess and the difficulties of growing up as a prince. Exaggerations, delusions, and poor acting abound. It's clear that the issue at the center of Meghan's problems is Meghan herself. There's a great line from Justified, the TV series, that goes something like this. If you run into an asshole in the morning, you simply ran into an asshole. But if you run into assholes all day, you're the asshole. I have not heard that expression. I love it so much. That's perfect. I will now start using that. That's great. This one's simply called Staged, and it says, this interview seems staged and practiced ahead of time. Yeah, definitely so. It seemed exaggerated and full of untruths. That's everything they say. It was as if Harry and Meghan had an axe to grind against the royal family just because they didn't get their way. Ding, ding, ding. Oprah did a terrible job as the interviewer. She didn't challenge their ludicrous claims or seek clarifications to support their accusations. Exactly. They actually contradict themselves in the interview several times. We all noticed it. Oprah didn't catch that. I don't think she cares. She just wanted that paycheck. It was very one-sided and unfair attack on the royal family. It was full of lies, contradictions, and hypocrisy. Harry and Meghan are really good at playing the victim and playing the race card. This interview was a bad joke. I can't believe I wasted my time watching this garbage. Exactly this. This was my takeaway as well. What garbage. This one's called So Many Lies. So many lies told that are easily fact-checked. Exactly. I have been saying the same thing. They lie about the most ridiculous things. They just lie to lie. They can't keep straight their lies. And then they lie to lie to lie, if that makes any sense. If they don't know how to tell the truth. But if they just tell the truth, you can remember the truth. It's the lies that get you in trouble, right? Markle is a phony liar. Harry should be ashamed of himself for sitting there knowing the truth and allowing her to spew lies about his family. Her sister didn't change back to her maiden name after Meghan and Harry's relationship went public. She had been using it for years prior already. How about in her book, Finding Freedom, who her friend and mouthpiece Omid Scobie wrote, saying that no one cried during the dress fittings. The original rumor always was that Meghan made Catherine cry, or them saying they had been cut off by Chuck when in fact, King Charles, when in fact he was, until recently at least, still funding them. Why doesn't Meghan talk to any of her relatives or family on either side? Why was Oprah, who was a complete stranger, invited to the wedding and sat in the area in the church reserved for special family members? Why does Meghan claim she paid for schooling herself and then the message cuts off? But you get the idea. Yeah, all excellent questions. The one thing I'll say is Oprah wasn't a complete stranger when she went to the wedding. It's talked about in Tom Bower's book that she had reached out to Meghan for an interview right before the wedding, and Meghan allegedly told her, basically, now's not the time, but I'll talk to you soon. So she knew. She was planning. We all know that. 2 multimillionaires complain to a billionaire. A waste of 2+ hours watching this complaint session by Harry and his wife. Very disappointed in Oprah, who made her fortune off the back of middle-aged women, used her platform to promote victimhood in order for Harry's wife to trash her husband's family by using the race card with no receipts. This so-called interview showcases Harry and his wife, along with Oprah's vindictiveness toward the royal family and the people of the UK and the Commonwealth. Fast forward, this smear campaign has made the royal family more popular, and these 3 popularity decrease. Cry me a river. Want to hear misinterpreted, dramatized, fifth-hand information? Then tune in for this latest cry fest. The world's smallest violin is playing for the media attention, grabbing media criticizers. Isn't that a contradiction? Yes, exactly what we've all been saying. Their whole existence, their whole spiel is a contradiction. Case in point, see the near catastrophic car chase, right? Where they, yeah, I don't even have to go. Oh my God, it makes my head spin. All of it, the hypocrisy is just off the charts, right? And finally, we have worse than a movie, 1 out of 10. I couldn't rate this any lower. She comes across in this piece of fiction as a lying, manipulative money grabber, while the other actor, let's call him PH, let's just call him H, seems to be cat whipped, where they're going there, blank whipped, deranged individual. The person playing Oprah, in my opinion, seemed more content looking at the cake stand, which was strategically placed near the other two actors, probably. However, it's still a better movie than Twilight. What? I disagree. I perhaps like the movie Twilight. Okay, it was a shitty movie too, but it was better than this. I want to talk Meghan and Harry. Now, this is the so much cringe, grabbing, shoving, clawing edition. I've shown you on lots of occasions where Meghan loves to grab on Harry. And yes, we'll talk about that a little bit. You can find it also in my Handling Harry video. You can find it several places. Today specifically, I want to show you instances where she has grabbed for the things that she wants. She has shoved people out of the way. She has clawed at things and people. So I want to look at the grabbing, shoving, clawing edition of So Much Cringe. Let's take a look. So I had to start here. This was September, of course, the Kevin Costner event, the infamous mic grab that no one will soon forget, and that what inspired this list. I started thinking, oh, that's not the only time she's been seen, grabbing for things. So, of course, this kicks it off. Here she is. So embarrassing. Grabbing for the microphone. God bless the woman right here in purple who will not give her the microphone. She tries to play it off, hand on the shoulder, like, oh yeah, we're in on this together. Oh, it's fine that you didn't give me the mic, when she's clearly pissed about it. So we see her grab it. We've been through this. We don't have to go spin forever, but it's just so funny to me. She's grabbing it there, and then you can see here, she's grabbing for the award. It's not hers to give. She's just trying to grab it to hand to Harry, but it's not even her time to grab it. It's not even Harry's time to present. The guy on the mic is talking about something else. Getting a microphone. She's making it all about herself. Grab, grab, grab. What else is new, right? Ha, ha, ha. So funny. All right, let's go on to this grabbing incident. All right, this was May 2022. One of my other favorite grabbing incidences. I have a whole video on this one. So much cringe. Grabbing for the trophy at the polo match. This was Santa Barbara Polo Club. It came out later that they didn't even win this event. Allegedly, it was just filmed for, I think, Netflix. It doesn't matter, whatever it was. Here you have Meghan front and center trying to make it about herself by grabbing the trophy, the plaque, anything she can get her hands on. She's trying to grab here, center of the stage, not even playing polo, but here to claim the prize, the fake prize, whatever it is. She's here for it, trying to get in the middle of the photos, trying to grab for anything she can. One of my favorite grabbing moments. All right. I said I wouldn't go too much into the PDA, but I have to include this one because hello, grabby hand. This was grabbing Harry's arm. This is UN General Assembly, July 2022. Oh my goodness. The grabbing of the hand. He tries to move it away, grabs it again. One of a billion times that this happens. It's just that this time we got to really see his face and hers during this situation. So I had to include it in instances of grabbing. It doesn't matter if he wants to move his hand away, she's going to grab it anyway. Grab, 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 right? I wanted to include this instance here where after the Queen's passing, somebody had given flowers. Meghan wanted to hold on to them. The guy tried to help her. She kind of pushed him away. So I found out since then, allegedly, she wanted to hold the flowers so that way she could be photographed laying them with the Queen's remembrance flowers, that sort of thing. So she was going for the photo op and doesn't want this guy to take the flowers away from her. And then we see here this other aide finally convinces her, no, I'll put the flowers, you go talk to people. So reluctantly, Meghan ends up having to give the flowers. So again, grabbing onto things that she shouldn't necessarily be holding, making it about herself. Another cringe moment. Again, I did a video on this one. Jay recorded this one with me. We covered where on the USO, she kept grabbing this guy to the point where he did not want to be touched. So he starts fake air drumming. She doesn't know what to do with herself, so she starts air drumming too. It's so awkward. Definitely go watch that video, but grabbing the people around her, lots of grabs. Here you go. Kelly Pickler grab, and I can't remember who, I think this guy's a DJ or something, grab. Oh, so awkward. So I haven't really talked about this moment, but I've watched it a million times. Meghan reaches out and touches Catherine on the hand when she clearly doesn't want to be touched. Catherine recoils. At this point, it was at the Queen's funeral. So, they've already been through so much. I feel so bad for Catherine here. Already dealing with so much with the loss of the Queen, and then has to put up with this nonsense. We already know that Meghan was making life so hard on Catherine and all the things that she put her through, and then doing this. Again, touching somebody that doesn't want to be touched, somebody that doesn't want to be near you, and doing it on purpose, I believe, in my opinion, for a reaction like this. Let's get into some shoving, shall we? This was Commonwealth Day 2020. Meghan sure did not want to walk behind Sophie, so we see her shoving a chair out of the way, racing to get ahead of them, to get behind William and Catherine, but that way she could be ahead of William and Sophie. Have you ever seen anything less mature in your whole life? Nope. Shoving a chair out of the way to race in front of Sophie. Absolutely ridiculous. So it's shoving a chair. Then we have this incident. This would be June 2018. Royal visit with Her Majesty, the late Queen, shoves in front of her to get in the car first. Not only is she shoving in front of the Queen, she's shoving in front of a 90-something-year-old woman to go first into the car. So call it an awkward mistake, call it whatever you want, but we've seen this as a pattern at this point. And finally, we see her shoving the footman's hand away on her wedding day. Now, I've posted this video and talked about it at length. Sugars will disagree and say, no, her foot was caught. Yes, her foot was caught in her dress, but she still shoves his hand away. You can see it right about here. She shoves his hand away. He looks surprised, looks around. So, history of, again, it's the grabbing at things that she doesn't need to be grabbing at, shoving people and hands away and shoving in front of people and clawing. And as we wrap this up, I'm going to show you this, shoving her way into this event. What business did this one have of marching in front of soldiers, servicemen and women at Invictus? None at all, yet here she is. Look at me, I'm marching. Unbelievable, right? You guys, I'm sure there are a million more examples. Most of them involve clawing at Harry, but I'm curious, can you think of another time where you saw her grabbing for something like that microphone or like that trophy or plaque, or shoving somebody or an object out of the way to get there first like we saw her with Sophie, or to get in front of the Queen like we saw, or clawing at something, again, other than Harry? Let me know in the comments. I'm dying to know your thoughts on this one. It's just unbelievable to me just to see them all together like this. Again, one might be an embarrassing mistake, but seeing these all together like this, it paints a better picture, I think, of what we're dealing with today. Ooh, we got some fun cringe to talk about. We're talking the disaster tour in New York. This would have been in September 2021. Now let me set the stage for you. This was Harold and Fraud's first big public appearance since leaving the royal family. And boy, did they make their mark in all the wrong ways. And I'm not just talking about this horrible outfit. You guys, please take a look at the screen and look at this horrible outfit. Have you ever seen anything so bad? But this was a 3-day tour through New York City, and I want to break down all the things that went wrong at each stop of this tour because, yeah, that's a thing. Every stop they made, everything they did had a problem. And it's really funny to get into. So I'm excited to break this down with you. I'm going to talk about why these are some of the worst outfits we've seen on Meghan. And that's saying something because, yeah, it's kind of incredible how much money was spent for 3 days and how wrong she got it at every step. And she got it so wrong. You guys, this is the Joker outfit. Oh my gosh. This picture strikes me so funny every time I see it. And even now I'm cracking up about it because she got it so wrong. And whoever pointed this out is a genius. It's so slouchy and so, ready, messy. It is. It's so messy. I don't understand how you see this and go, yeah, that looks good. That's what I'm going for. Or this. Holy crap, you guys. Oh, I'm giddy with anticipation. Oh my God. Okay. So let me set the stage for this. This was, again, 2021 in September. I say this is all from the same trip because I just want you to keep that in mind. 3 days. They were there for 3 days. It was 80 degrees. 26 is 80 degrees Fahrenheit, 26 Celsius. It was unseasonably warm in New York. And you want to hear something funny? I had a sugar argue with me in the comments once because I had talked about this when I was going over the Revenge book about how there are articles written about how it's 80 degrees, unseasonably warm. And Meghan decided to dress like this in layers and camel coats and turtlenecks, completely got it wrong. And Sugar was like, oh no, it's never that hot in New York. I'm like, jump on Google, you can find it. Okay, so look at this outfit up close. I know I'm like jumping around because I'm giddy with excitement, but we're going to talk about each outfit and how much was spent because the numbers are just eye-watering, especially when you put it into context. You know where I'm going with this, with the places that she wore certain outfits. But oh my God, you guys, sorry, I got distracted again. Look at the screen. Look at what is this outfit? This wouldn't look, this is not good on anybody. It's pulled up to her neck. Horrible. Again, 80 degrees. Look, big wool coat, turtlenecks. What's happening here? No wonder she has that bitter look on her face all the time. She's sweating her tits off. Look, what's happening? So as I mentioned, this tour was just marked with controversy. The whole thing was they were treating it as if it was a royal tour. They were meeting with city officials. They were doing private meetings. It was so misguided, and let me cut through the BS. What they were actually doing is bringing their Netflix crew along with them and trying to make themselves look more important. P.S. Can we spend about 14 hours talking about these pants? I just want you to take a look at the screen. These are the first. This is when they landed. This is the outfit that she made her debut in. Just take a look. And then after that, again, so many outfit changes. 3 days they were there in New York. I want you to look at these pants as well. I showed you from the front. I just want you to see the bottom. Now you tell me that anybody can work with her because they're letting her go out like this. Look how awful that looks. Oh my God. Okay. So they arrived by private jet because of course they do. Thursday on the 23rd of September. And on this day, first they went to a 9/11 memorial and then they went to the UN headquarters. And they actually end up going to the UN headquarters twice on this trip. But first they're at the 9/11 memorial. And again, I just want you to look at what everybody else is wearing versus what Meghan's wearing and think about how hot it is. These two ass clowns thought it'd be a really good idea to bring a film crew to a 9/11 memorial. They can't just do things because for them it doesn't count unless it's on camera. P.S. The media was reporting on this, calling it crass commercialism. So the mayor was there, the governor was there, they had a private tour. There was controversy because regular folks like us couldn't get to the memorial at this point because, again, the private tour. And it was so awkward because, again, the mayor and governor were treating it like it was a royal tour. And Harry and Meghan just didn't seem to have a purpose for being there other than, hey, look at us. Look at me. I'm sweating my tits off. Look at me. So let's talk about the cost of this outfit. This was actually one of the less expensive ones, if you can believe it. She seemed to be cosplaying somebody grieving. It's like they told her, hey, we're going to a 9/11 memorial. She's like, okay, got it. So this is how she dressed. She is wearing an $1,872 Emporio Armani coat with matching $889 black trousers. She's wearing a $615 pair of shoes, Aquazzara, naturally, that's her fave, totaling up $3,374 to look like this. You're telling me she spent $900 on these pants that look like this? Really? I swear to God, I could go to Target and find a better fitting pair of pants than this. That high of a heel, and they're still dragging the ground. So then these two do a quick costume change, because that's what they are, costumes, for this nonsense. And they end up going to the UN headquarters. Now, they actually go twice during this trip, and I couldn't find which visit it was, but I'm going to go ahead and tell you one of the two visits, they are allegedly escorted out. What was going on is there was a world leaders meeting there, and allegedly they were asked to leave because they were being assholes, it sounds like. They didn't get proper clearance to film inside there, and you can't just do that. So they tried to sneak recording devices in, were escorted out of the building. I couldn't find the mainstream media reporting on it, but I found lots of people talking about this event that allegedly had happened at the UN building. So again, I talk about it now because they go twice. I'm not sure if it was this time or the next visit, but one of the two, allegedly they were asked to leave because they just thought they could do whatever they wanted in the UN building. Okay, let's talk about this outfit. Now remember, this is the same day. There, she's lost her coat. There's the coat. Okay, same day that they arrived. This is Thursday the 23rd. She is sporting this Max Mara camel coat that costs $4,377 for a coat. For a coat that does nothing for her, no shape, nothing. She's wearing a $561 Roland Mouret pencil skirt. Is it Velextra? Never heard of that. It's called Iside, I-S-I-D-E bag, which retails for $3,400. And Valentino sunglasses for $184, putting the total of this outfit at $6,544. And again, this is just for an outfit change. This is the second part of her that same day. Okay, then we go into Friday. It is the 24th of September, 2021. You guys, I would like to talk to you about 14 hours about this outfit. Is this not the worst thing you've ever seen? How? Why? Why would you go out in this? Oh my gosh. It is the most horrible thing I've ever seen. I don't understand what look you're going for when you wear something like this. This looks like pajamas. She is 100% cosplaying Michelle Obama. Michelle is on the left. You know who's on the right. Take a look and tell me she's not trying to... We know what she's doing. She's hoping to get written up that, oh, look, it's the next Michelle Obama. You know, that kind of thing. Please look at the waistline on these pants. Look at the belt pulled up to her neck. Look, none of it's right. Oh my goodness. Okay, can we talk cost of this outfit? Because things are going to get real disgusting here. So this is a Laura, is it Piana cashmere outfit? Okay, again, cashmere, 80 degrees. Do you know how much this coat costs? Just the coat. $5,840. You know how much the pants cost? Well, I'll tell you. They are $1,685 for those pants. Oh my God. She's wearing a Cartier Love bracelet. That thing costs $6,900. So, do you want to know how much this whole ensemble costs? According to Daily Mail, $15,788. Let that sink in. $15,788. So $16,000 essentially to look this stupid. But you know what makes it so much worse? You know where I'm going with this. Do you know where she wore this $16,000, I'll never stop saying it, $16,000 worth of clothing and jewelry, not even to count her engagement ring and everything else, and Diana's watch. You know where she wore this? And for those of you outside of America, let me just fill you in right here. Vogue actually sums it up pretty good. This school, PS 123, has students from 12 area shelters. 5 of them are for temporary housing, and 7 house women and children who have experienced domestic issues. It is estimated that 94% of the kids that go to the school depend on the free school lunches. So this clown shows up in $16,000 worth of clothes and jewelry and reading her book to these kids. Let that sink in, how completely tone deaf and disgusting that is. No self-awareness. Totally doesn't even bat an eye to wear this stupid outfit for $16,000 to these kids who are struggling to even get a meal. And yes, I did read that they gave something small. I think they filled up a pantry or something for the school. That's great. But you don't show up in $16,000 worth of this stupid stuff for a bunch of kids for a publicity stunt where you bring your film crew to film you reading to them. They are clueless, they are tone deaf, they are disgusting. It's stuff like this that really makes me sick. You thought old Harry was off the hook for this visit? Well, you're wrong. He made some news too. I'm going to show you a video, we're going to talk about it. Now, I think this was a little bit much, but I'm going to talk about it. He is being accused of shoving a kid there. And you're like, what? In my research, they talk about 2 instances where he shoves a kid away when he's done hugging them. You can see it there. Now, I hate the guy, but I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt for whatever reason for just a second and say he seems to be playing with the kids. But it is a cringe moment, right? I feel like this is all for the cameras. I'm not gonna sit here and say, oh, he pushed a kid. But people are saying, oh, he pushed a kid. And I'm thinking, well, I don't know. They've done weirder. But again, this outfit and the cost of it and the tone deafness occupies so much space in my mind. I think about this a lot. And to me, it just makes them disgusting. Okay, then we get to Saturday, which is September 25th. They do their second visit to the UN. Again, I'm not sure if it was the first one or the second one that they were allegedly asked to leave. I find that fascinating. I find this outfit horrific and fascinating. Does she not have a mirror? I don't understand. So let's talk about this outfit. Whew, so bad, right? So here she's wearing a Max Mara coat. It retails for $4,377. Should we all run out and get one? No? Okay. Hate the color so much. Hate the rolled up arm sleeves. Don't understand why she's dressing like it's the 70s. Era and not realizing it's 80 degrees outside. She's wearing $584. Yep, let that sink in. Pants, also by Max Mara, high-waisted. And Daily Mail calls this her power suit. And I'm thinking, what the hell is her power? Carrying a notebook around? What's the power? And I ask again, what is the purpose of this? If they had just gone and not documented it, whatever, like, that's up to them. But they didn't. That's not what they did. They documented the whole thing to look important for Netflix. For what purpose, I'm not really sure. It seems to be almost like a royal tour without the royalty, but still using titles. And then finally, after that second visit to the UN, she did a costume change to wear to the Global Citizen Live concert. Now, it's not the kind of concert you think it is. It's an annoying one. Can I just point out, though, too, she finally admitted, fuck, it's hot outside, so she ended up putting on a dress instead of all the layers of wool and camel and everything else that she had been wearing for this entire disaster trip. And she put on this disaster dress. Who walks out of the house like this? What's happening? Where's your mirror? All right, you ready for another cringe moment out of the dastardly duo? I'm not going to get political. I don't want to talk about the vaccine because it's up to you what you believe, and I don't need the comments about it. But I'm telling you what they were doing because it's going to add a whole new twist to this. They were up there lecturing about vaccine equity. and how the wealthiest nations are hoarding them and keeping them from the poor countries, according to them. Okay, so just keep that in mind. Talking about wealth and equity, just think about that. Okay, so here she is in this white dress. How much does this stupid thing cost? You ready? Because it shocked me. Oh my goodness. All right. $4,500. Okay. She appeared to be wearing $16,500 Cartier earrings. She was wearing a $12,000 Cartier watch and her $900 Cartier love bracelet. While again lecturing about equality, equity, wealthy nations versus poor nations. No self-awareness. None whatsoever. This event ended up getting branded, quote, woke stock. Yeah, so from start to finish, it sounds like the trip was a complete disaster. She ended up spending it's approximated about $84,000, 67,000 pounds, on 3 days worth of clothes and jewelry. Doofus got caught with a microphone wire hanging out. I mean, just anything to make themselves look important, right? Let's do these things and get it on camera. Here they are with their film crew, again, making sure they got the shot. I don't know where she's going. I'd like to remind you all it was 80 degrees. She's in a big wool coat and a scarf. I don't know what's happening there. She finally gave it on that last day and wore that stupid white dress. She's like, okay, fine, it's hot. I'm no longer Michelle Obama cosplaying. So that's about as much cringe as I can handle in a 3-day period. I hope you enjoyed this. I'm sure there's parts that I've forgotten about, so leave them in the comments if there's some other antics they got up to. Oh, the toilet paper monster is back in the news. That's right. You guys, it is just complete nonsense. So I feel like I needed to vent on this one, and I need you guys along with me for this ride. But it is Pippa's 6-year anniversary, 6 years and 3 kids later. This beautiful woman is celebrating her anniversary. So yeah, Pippa and James have been married for 6 years, and there's been articles coming out about their anniversary. And P.S., can I just remind you, oh my God, look how cute they are. Look at little George and little Charlotte here. I believe George was like 4 and Charlotte was 3 or maybe 2, but oh my gosh, look how cute. I love it so much. I love Charlotte's dress. Look how cute that is. She looks like a little angel. Anyway, so news is coming out about their anniversary, but how does this relate to Meghan? Oh, don't worry, she's making it about herself. What else is new? But don't worry, we won't let her. Look at this picture. I'm dying. I haven't looked at Pippa's wedding photos in a long time, so I was just looking at this, just saying, oh, look how cute. Oh my goodness, so cute. Okay, let's get into this article and what's going on. So the Daily Mail put this out saying her lace dress was stunning, but it was toddlers George and Charlotte who stole the show. How Pippa Middleton's big day unfolded 6 years ago today, and guest list drama involving Meghan Markle. So this article came out. We're going to break it down, but I'm going to go ahead and tell you it has to do with Meghan Markle and her mouthpiece / lapdog, Omid Scobie. They are putting out stupid things like this, trying to turn the attention back to Meghan. Something tells me they'll do anything to get the attention off that fake car chase stuff that's going around right now, but we'll see. So the article starts out by talking about the 2011 wedding, of course, Catherine and William, how Pippa became the world's most famous bridesmaid thanks to that sleek dress she wore. My God, who could forget that? 6 years later, it was Pippa Middleton. I don't know why I have trouble with that name. Pippa Middleton's turn to become a blushing bride when she tied the knot with hedge fund manager James Matthews. The couple married St. Mark's Church in Inglefield, West Berkshire, in May 20th, 2017. So now, as we know, 6 years later, they have 3 children. Arthur was born in 2018, followed by Grace in 2021, and their baby girl Rose was born last year. So here's Pippa and James looking, I mean, just gorgeous. I love her dress so much. I'll show you the back in a second. It had a very thoughtful cutout detail that I thought was really pretty, but I love the lace. I love the photos of this wedding. It seemed truly just a happy occasion. So pretty, and congratulations on the 6 years that they're celebrating together. And there's the back detail. So beautiful. You can see Catherine there to the right. You can see, of course, their dad there to the left. And I mean, beautiful event. Look at the flowers. Gorgeous. Okay, let's get into how Meghan's trying to insert herself into this and make it about her as per usual and what's going on there. Get ready to strain your eyes from rolling them so hard. Guest list drama with Meghan. According to the book Finding Freedom. Okay, pause. Just hearing those few words tells me it's total bullshit. Now, I know you know, but in case you don't, Fighting Freedom was written by Omid Scobie, her favorite lapdog, and it has since come out. She had to admit in court that she actually was involved in writing this book, even though she had previously lied, saying, no, I wasn't involved, even though she absolutely was involved, and like I say, had to admit that in court. Convenient how they forget things like that, right? Oh, yeah, I forgot that I helped write this book. Anyway, okay, so written by Omid Scobie and Carolyn Duran. Both Pippa and her mother, Carol Middleton, harbored concerns that Meghan and Harry's presence might overshadow the ceremony. I'm sorry, what? So they are trying to make a non-issue into an issue. They're trying to make it seem like something that Meghan wasn't invited to was because she might overshadow or outshine the bride. I mean, the gall on this woman. To say such a thing. It's just ridiculous. And again, just shows, the size of her ego. Then it goes on to say Meghan put, quote, careful thought into her outfit. Pfft, when has she ever put careful thought into any outfit? The day of the nuptials, a newspaper ran a cover story, quote, it's Meghan versus Pippa in the wedding of the rears. What? Accompanied by a rear-view paparazzi picture of Meghan in yoga pants leaving a central London yoga studio with a side-by-side of the infamous photo of Pippa from behind in Kate's wedding, 2011 wedding ceremony. Now, I looked for this article, and I couldn't find it, so I don't know if it's been taken down or what. Doesn't matter. But I did find this. I'm taking a side note here. Of course, Pippa is on the right. I mean, I'll never forget that moment either. She looks so beautiful in that dress. That dress was made for her. But Jessica Maroney on the left trying to have her own Pippa moment, failing spectacularly. This was at, of course, Meghan's wedding. She was, trying to recreate a look like that and make buzz for herself, even down to the hairstyle and stuff. And yeah, it didn't so much work out for her, did it? Then it goes on to say, again, this is out of Finding Freedom, Harry and Meghan agreed that she couldn't possibly turn up to the church, only 50 meters away from a specially arranged media pen, after such a crass cover story. Since when? Since when has that cow cared about if it's a crass cover story? Again, look at what's going on in the news right now. She loves that shit. I just think it's to make it about herself. She wanted to make her grand entrance later on and, I don't know, not sit through the quote-unquote boring bits of a wedding. She wanted to make it about her somehow, so she found a way to do it by arriving later. Then Meghan and Omid decide to come up with this idea. The authors say that Harry and Meghan then came up with a plan which saw them drive out to Berkshire on the day of the wedding. Meghan stayed in an Airbnb that a close friend and wedding guest had rented on her behalf, while Harry attended the church service in, again, that place. Meghan then did her own makeup and got dressed into a decidedly unflashy long black gown. Okay, tell me Meghan wrote this story without telling me Meghan wrote this story, right? So she's trying to, I guess, play a victim here, like, oh, I couldn't be included in the festivities because I would attract too much attention. The ego on this woman. I did my own makeup. And then goes into the detail of wearing a black dress. Now, I know rules are a little different here in America, but from what I've heard, that's a big no-no in England because she pulled this crap before at... now I can't remember whose wedding, some society wedding that she apparently acted like a spoiled brat at that I've talked about before. yeah, she wore black to that as well. And I got told by many people in the UK that that's just not something that's done. I just want to take this story in and really think about what she's saying here. She didn't want to sit through the wedding ceremony because she was afraid it would take too much attention away from the bride. I keep going back to the ego, but the narcissism on this woman to say something like that. It's not about you. It's not your day. And just think about this. She has a history of pouting and trying to make things about her, well, always, but especially on wedding days. I go back to Eugenie's wedding all the time and her making her pregnancy, I'm using quotation marks there, announcement at Eugenie's wedding. But yet at her own wedding, she was so afraid that Doria would steal even a second of focus from her that she dropped her off a few blocks before the church. I'm sorry, I can't say that without laughing. Before the church, so that way she could be photographed on her own. Just think about all that. So then the book goes on to say that Harry traveled back to the Airbnb to grab her, basically, and goes into the reception. They didn't want the couples to sit together, and so Harry and Meghan reunited near the dance floor where they spoke about their evening apart. They left around 2 a.m., where a protection officer drove them back to Kensington. What about the Airbnb? None of this story makes any sense. Anyway, forget Meghan. Let's just take a look at some beautiful photos from the wedding itself. God, they look gorgeous, don't they? And look at those cute little, do they call them page boys? Flower girls? I don't know. So cute. Beautiful picture of Catherine and Charlotte. I love it so much. I remember hearing that Catherine had recycled this dress because she actually didn't want any attention stolen from her sister on the day. She didn't want it to be about what she was wearing. The happy couple, they ended up going to Australia for their honeymoon. I love that detail. But anyway, beautiful wedding, beautiful event. Happy anniversary to them. Meghan Markle continues to suck, and so does Harry. So they can enjoy the misery of their own making. I really feel like they're just trying to get out any news right now they can to deflect from the train wreck that is that fake car chase that they put out there. So I feel like this is just all having to do with that. Today, we're going to take a look at some mask slips. That's right. We'll go from happy when the camera's on to, woo, scary. Faces like this. Ooh, my God, scary. But we will be taking a look at some videos where you can see they call it the mask slip when her face changes and she clearly gets mad. Ooh, one of my all-time favorites. For some reason, she thought the glass in the car wasn't see-through and started making that face. Hey, Harry. Smile for the camera. Now show us how you really feel. Oh, yep, there it is. So we're going to take a look at some of these mask slips. In no particular order, here we go. Now, this first one's actually a reverse mask slip, as she's clearly annoyed. She's waiting on her turn on the red carpet, talking to, I don't know, an assistant, sees somebody she knows, and then turns it on. See? Annoyed, smile. Okay, this one, she can't even hide her annoyance. She's so annoyed that Harry dare be speaking when she feels like it's her turn. If the attention's not on her, she can't hide it. She gets mad. The blinking increases. Look at the neck because that comes up again later. Annoyed, see? Annoyed. She mad. But yeah. Can't hide it. Mask slips trying to hide it. Knows the camera's there, but she's annoyed. Now I'm going to show you some quick ones. Thank you, Lady Amber Alexander, friend of the show. She is annoyed because this guy in an interview had to be reminded who she was, what show she's on, and she gets pissed and makes this face. I just talked about this one in another video, but this is the Larry King interview where she gets mad when the attention's not on her. Larry dared ask her co-star there a question and not her, and she got upset and clenched her jaw. Just watch her face when the attention isn't fully on her. It drops. She gets mad. She doesn't like it when somebody else is talking. Here's another interview. If they don't ask exactly what she wants or she doesn't feel like she's recognized enough, she makes faces like this where she gets mad. And then here you go, pretending to be nice and pleasant, I guess. And then, see, stuff like this happens. She can't hide it. Even in the engagement interview, if Harry talked too much, she'd get kind of mad and clench her jaw like that. It's very odd to see. It's funny to me that she hangs her hat on being an actress, and I use quotations like Joey from Friends around that word, actress, but yet she can't even hide her disgust when things aren't exactly how she wants them, or if the attention is not enough on her, or if the questions aren't to her liking. To me, it seems to be more about the attention. If the attention isn't exactly on her, or if Harry's taking too much attention away, or right here where her mother is trying to answer a question, she gets really mad. See, she can't even hide it. She has to glare. Mask slips. There you go. This is one of the more popular ones that I've seen. Thank you, Amber Alexander, for sharing that. Yep. And then she shows some creepy stares that Meghan goes into here. But then, this face at the wedding. Like the cat that swallowed the canary. Okay, I have to shout out According to Taz because I love her. I love her channel. I want to be friends with her. She just doesn't know who I am, but I really do. I love her stuff. She brought up this, and I definitely encourage you to watch her video. I think it's called Mask Slip. If you look up Mask Slip, According to Taz, this video comes up. Anyway, she does a brilliant job of reporting on it. Okay, so I didn't know the backstory until Taz filled me in. See, I'm talking like we're friends already. This is Meghan talking with the editor of Fortune. The editor's name is Ellen McGirt. Okay. Meghan's people spun it as she was invited to speak, but Taz says, no, that's not what happened. Meghan paid, I believe Taz said, around $13,000 to speak at this thing. Taz explains she does things like that because, her people do things like that allegedly because it keeps her in the news. And then to, just normal people like us that don't know, it just sounds like, oh my God, these people are asking her to speak. And, the Sugars are like, yeah, all these people ask her to speak, but it sounds like she's making that happen. Okay, this was a summit of Fortune's most powerful women. Taz explains that Ellen said something during this. It was going fine, but then Ellen said something basically implying that Meghan's not the most powerful in the room, and that pissed Meghan off. And you can see the visible change in Meghan. She went from happy to this. Look at her neck. She's very mad. And the rest of the interview or whatever this is, you get images like this. But it's just interesting. When you Google this article, that's what the stories come up as, is Meghan seemed clearly visibly angry and upset. But then Taz nailed down, it's because how dare this reporter or this editor nail down that Meghan's not the most important woman in the room. It's just very cringe, and it is funny to see here when she's visibly upset and pouting about one thing that this woman has said while giving this speech. Okay, switching gears. This one is hard to talk about because my feelings about the Queen and my feelings about Meghan. But go with me on this journey. This is the mask slip of all mask slips. See, she's pretending to be upset, but then when she thinks people aren't watching or the cameras aren't on her, you can clearly see her smirking. Mask slip. There you go. So instead of the anger that we, the fake happiness and then slipping into anger that we see, here it's fake sadness and then slipping into her real feeling, which seems to be happiness or smirking or whatever you want to call it. Disgusting behavior continued. I say it all the time. If you wrote a villain like this in a book, nobody would believe it. They'd say that's too much. You know what I mean? Like you have to make them somewhat likable and then have them turn or something, some redeeming quality. There's nothing here. Nothing redeeming. That's disgusting. All right, guys, those were some of the mask slips that came to mind. If there's one that you didn't see on here that you want to discuss, by all means, leave it in the comments because there are lots to choose from. Hey, guys, welcome back to Real Housewives Recaps. Today, I need your attention. This is not a drill. I'm very excited to bring you this one. You guys, something has been brought to my attention, and it needs our collective goose immediate attention. You guys, Oh my goodness. Okay, so I posted this on Patreon a little bit ago, but I've been dying to bring it to the main channel, so here we go. Somebody brought my attention to, and I am stalling on this picture for a minute because I have a surprise for you. Somebody brought my attention to the existence of an advertisement that one Miss Meghan Markle did. This would have been in 2013. Now, just a reminder, she joined Suits in 2011. So 2013, she did an ad for Wella hair care products, hence why I'm showing her hair like this. You guys, it is the most absurd thing ever, and that's saying something, and I'm excited to show it to you. Now, let me preface this by saying you're not ready. I wasn't ready. You're not ready. I'm going to show you some pictures, some stills from again, this is a hair campaign. Just keep that in mind when you see these stills. I'm going to show you some stills from it, and then I'm going to show you bits of the original video. And the reason I say it like that is because I can't play the whole thing, and I can't play it with the audio because they blast music that's copywritten. So I highly encourage you. The original ad is here on YouTube. Just look up Meghan Markle Wella ad 2013. You'll find it. I want you to go see this thing. Get your eyeballs on it after you watch this video. But you guys, I need to show you this. So again, let me set the stage for you. 2013, Wella Hair Company, right? This is a hair ad. Just keep that in mind. Also, Meghan hasn't discovered bronzer or spray tan yet. Just keep that in mind too. Just wait till you see this. You guys, you're not ready. Here we go. You guys, have you ever seen anything like this in your life? This is a hair ad. This is the stylist doing her hair for this ad. They had partnered with Wella and Elle magazine. So it ran as this promotional video, and then it ran as a print ad in Elle magazine. Oh my gosh. Bride of Frankenstein. What am I looking at? Oh, don't worry. There's more. We'll zoom in. There's just so many things wrong with this, you guys. Why is she this color? Why is she orange? But not like spray tan orange. It's like orange hair orange. What am I looking at? Again, Bride of Frankenstein is all I can think about with this look. What is this? And you might say, Jen, that's not her. Oh, no, it is her. It is. Because again, if you watch the video with the sound on, she's clearly talking. It's called Stylist Meets like Starlet, something like that. It's so ridiculous. So I'm just looking back at my notes here. They talk about doing your own spin on Hollywood glamour. You guys, this is their spin on Hollywood glamour. You guys, I did not mess with this image. This is one of the stills from this publicity video. I can't even believe it. Again, what is this? What in the sepia tone is happening here? Why are we wearing orange hair and lipstick? I can't wrap my head around this. How is this a hair ad? Oh my goodness. Have you ever seen anything like this in your life? Oh, I have not. I'm freaking out over this. I seriously am. Have you seen this? I had not until, like I say, a few weeks ago. I did post this on Patreon, but I wanted to bring it to the main channel here. I wanted you to get your eyeballs on it. So again, I can't show you the whole ad. I'm just going to kind of talk over parts of it, but I encourage you to go watch the ad after this video ends. Let's take a look at some of the ad. So I can set the stage for you. Loud music playing, this guy talking about how he did this updo. You guys, this hair. Oh my goodness. Oh, so bad, right? She calls herself, she says, it looks so sexy. Of course she would say that. And then she calls it classy. Okay. And then she calls it a lot of fun. And then she says that the products smell like vacation. So again, it's an ad, so she's going to only say good things about it. But oh my goodness, how is this a hair ad? I don't understand. It's blowing my mind. I guess I understand the look they were trying to go for. All I can think of is like a Grecian look, but they've missed it terribly. And I know I'm on broken record with this, but how is this a hair ad? We can't even see the hair products or the hair. We just see crunchy noodles on top of her head. What's going on here? And why is she more pale than me? It's just crazy at this point. Who is this human being? I don't know. Oh my goodness. What is this outfit? Now, I did have people on Patreon saying that they like the outfit. Fine, fair enough. I personally don't. I don't think there's any shape to it. I mean, I don't know. I don't love it. But regardless, how is this a hair ad? I just feel like I could sit here for 10 minutes yelling, how is this a hair ad? What look were we going for? We missed it. What person is this? I don't understand how she can look so different here. What is this look? And again, this is 2013. So we're talking 10 years. I'm not talking about youth, we all age. I'm talking about our skin doesn't change this much. We don't go sepia tone in 10 years, do we? I mean, I don't. Oh my gosh, you guys, I feel like, again, I'm losing my mind on this one, but yeah, I'm gonna need your thoughts on this one. Boy, she's feeling herself though, isn't she? Look at this. Look at the poses. She is into it. Oh, I just don't know how many people approve this ad. And like people at Elle Magazine didn't say, what are we doing? What is this look? I just don't get it. Oh, goodness. From stylist to starlet. I think that was something like stylist and starlet is what they called the ad. Oh, my goodness. It smells like vacation. I'm sure it does. Does it smell like a yacht? Is that what we're talking about? Oh, my goodness. You guys, I just had to show you this. I had to see if you... Have you seen this before? I need your input on this one because I'm struggling to get the right words out on this one because, what in the holy mess am I looking at? What is this? There were so many funny reactions to this on Patreon. People were saying she looks like Bride of Frankenstein. Somebody called it corpse ivory. The orange lipstick really stuck out at people. You guys, look at this. Look at this smug. Look at me. She's doing all of her favorite things here. My goodness. Can you imagine? This is a hair ad, everybody. Just take that in. I'm dying. Anyway, guys, I don't know what else to say except for yikes. How many people approved this? Who had final say? I'm going to need to fire a bunch of people. What is going on? I did have one Wella product that I found in my, little beauty cupboard thing. So, yeah, that got tossed. But I wasn't really a big fan of it anyway. It kind of left my hair oily. But, knowing that she's a brand ambassador I think I'm good on that stuff. So, you guys, so much to see. You got to leave me comments on this one. What are your thoughts? What look were they going for? Prom? I'm not sure. I think it was supposed to be Grecian, but they just totally missed the mark. I Love Lucy. I don't understand. Who decided sepia tone is best? What am I looking at? Why, this is before she weaponized spray tan. So why is she more pale than I am? Why is she Nicole Kidman? What am I looking at? Oh, you guys, this has been fun. Let me know your thoughts. Have you seen this before? I think I've alluded to it in other videos, but have you actually watched this? Let me know in the comments below. I can't wait to read your comments on this one, you guys. I hope you enjoyed this gift as much as I do. And I can't wait to bring you more things like this. Oh, man. Let me know your thoughts, and I hope you all have the best. You did it. You made it to the end of this video. Thank you so much for sticking with me. Merry Christmas if you're watching this on Christmas. Happy holidays, whatever you celebrate. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed this as much as I did, and I cannot wait to bring you more stuff like this. I hope you have the best day. I'll talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.